So I haven't talked about manga stuff in a while, so I think I'm going to make a video about one. So today, well, a little while ago, I started reading part 5 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, known as Vento Aureo or Golden Wind. Now, I kind of made videos on them. They're kind of not great videos because it's mostly just me rambling. But if you know me at all, you know that I'm a big fan of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, which I highly, oh my god, I highly recommend reading and watching it if you have the time. If not, then one or the other. It doesn't really matter. The manga's kind of hard to read through in the beginning because some of his art in the beginning's pretty fucking rough. At the time it was made, like fucking what, I don't think it's not in the 80s, but like at the time, that's a long time ago. But at the time, or maybe it was the 80s, I don't actually remember when this started, but it was a while ago, right? I think it might have actually been the 80s. But when it was started, that art was considered completely normal, and he bases it like on people that were like Fist of the North Star and stuff. That's why they're so jacked up and buff, right? And so it's kind of rough to read, but it gives more context than the anime does. However, the anime looks much better, but of course skips out on a bunch of stuff. I highly recommend reading and watching it, but I recommend it from part 1. Technically, each JoJo, you can't split it up by season, you split it up by part. And that's partially because season 1 of JoJo has parts 1 and 2. The first like 8 episodes, 10 episodes, whatever, that's part 1. And then the rest of that season is part 2. And then part 3 has 2 seasons, and then part 4 has one really long season. It's like 39 episodes. And that's because each part of JoJo it's generational. Part 1 is Jonathan Joestar. Then part 2 is about his grandson, Joseph Joestar. Part 3 is that grandson, Jotaro Kujo, or Kujo Jotaro. And then part 4, if you're watching the anime or reading the manga, is the son of Joseph, kind of, don't want to spoil anything in a weird way, son of Joseph, out of nowhere, Josuke Higashikata. I don't know if there was an anime announcement. I heard there was, not sure, for part 5. I was gonna wait on it, but whatever. So I'm reading part 5 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Vento Aureo, starring Giorno Giovanna, also known as Jojo, or Jojo, and he is the son of Dio Brando. If you don't know how that works, then you haven't read all the parts, or at least not the important one, or watched all of it. I highly recommend just doing the first one, because you get so much more context half the time. Some parts, like, you'll see if you watch, like if you start part 4, you'll see the Jotaro character, you'll have no fucking idea who that is. Now, admittedly, it's not important for you to know who that is, but I kind of feel like you should, so do it. You technically can start at any part, but honestly, it's probably just best for you to start at the beginning, even if you don't want to. Take your time watching it. Take your time reading it. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about chapters, I have it written down here, chapters 1 to 8 of part 5, Vento Aureo. I mean, technically, it's not chapters 1 to 8, it's chapters 1 to 8 of part 5 of the whole thing. It's chapters 440 to 447 because this is the 5th part. You know, it's like you got all these other parts. But anyway, and I think the names of the chapters, if you want to look at them just in case, it's Gold Experience or Golden Experience, which is the name of the main character's stand, and Here Comes Bucciolati. Now, 2 things you need to know is that stands, in case you're watching this and have no idea, stands are kind of like spirit power, almost. It's like your mental strength in the form, given a physical form. And you can, some of them, if you've played the Persona series, it's kind of like a Persona. Of course, this came first. But, you know, it's kind of like a Persona in that, you know, it's your mental, physical strength. You've overcome a part of yourself. You're just whatever. I mean, there are some exceptions depending on what part you're reading, like the stand arrows and whatever the fuck, or the corpse parts. That sounds weird. That's a part 7 thing that I've heard, whatever. But stands are like that. So and also what you need to know are that pretty much all stands are based off of music references, right? So in part 3, they're just tarot cards, but like part 4, there's Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know, stuff like that. So, and that's only one example, but you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But there's like Killer Queen, you know, Queen. There's Sheer Heart Attack, that's a thing. Yeah, another one, Bites the Dust, or Bites the Dust, like, it's music stuff. So, but the characters in part 5 are named after like Italian food and stuff. So, Giotto no Giovanna, that's whatever, and his stand is Golden Experience. And we find that his stand in this part, it can give life to things, inanimate objects. So, like Koichi, who's from part 4, comes to Italy to investigate him because he's like, oh, I think this is the son of Dio, I'm not sure, something's going on, whatever. Investigate him. Is he an ally or is he an enemy? So, Giorno ends up getting swindled by him, and Koichi ends up getting swindled by him. And Giorno kind of turns his luggage into a frog because he can do that. He can just create an inanimate object out of, turn an inanimate object into a living thing. He can do that. And apparently, as of right now, any damage done to that object that he's created, like when he made that frog, some guy tried to hit it, that damage is then done to the other person. So it like reflects back. So, and when he hits a person with it, because he's never tried to like, his stand primarily gives life and does that sort of stuff that we can tell right now. And he can't really, like, when he punches, it still gives life though. So what happens is the person that he hits gets so hopped up on life, he gets so high with life, that for a brief second, they kind of become crazy awesome, it seems like they become really fast and everything's like whatever. But then they immediately get, like they essentially, literally, from a translation I read before, get high on it. They overdose on it and everything just slows down. They become slow. Their consciousness becomes slow. Even like the pain they feel, like if they were to get punched in the face, all of it would just happen so slowly for them and the pain would come slowly too. So he essentially just kind of like drugs them up on life and then beats the shit out of them. In Golden Experience, it was primarily about him swindling Koichi, and being like, ho ho ho, I'm a gangster, I want to be a gangstar. Because he helped this gangster out when he was younger. Essentially, if you don't know anything about part 3, there's a dude named Dio. I don't want to go into too much detail with him. But anyway, Dio is a vampire, and women are just food and tools for him. And somehow this one girl managed to get preggers with his son and get away from him without him killing her. That was shocking. But she was like, nah, I'm not about to be a mom, and would leave her kid alone by himself. And he learned, thought I heard something. And he kind of just, he learned to adapt. He learned to just, essentially he was a child abuse. It was child abuse. He learned to adapt because of child abuse. And so he was bullied for one reason or another. His mom's husband, when she eventually married, beat him for no reason. Tons of terrible shit happened. But one day, he ended up rescuing a gangster. He was like, oh, I didn't see that gangster. And unbeknownst to him, his ability, he had kind of awakened it, not completely, but he had access to certain powers. He gave life to the grass, made the grass grow around the guy. And so the guy, because he was like, oh, this kid helped me out, essentially took care of him for the rest of his life. Not like a father, but he probably paid off people to not treat him like garbage anymore, because all of a sudden his life just got better. And so, now in the current time, he wants to be a mob boss too. But he wants to be like a good guy mob boss. He doesn't want to be like a bad guy mob boss. So he wants to be a gang star, and that's what he does. He says gang star. He pulls his shirt down like that, because it's got like a little heart thing going on. And he's like, I'm gonna do mob shit. So that's like, also we meet leaky-eyed Luca, blah blah blah. He ends up getting fucked. He gets all fucked up because he tried to hit a frog. Whatever. So, in the next, like, that's like the first 3 chapters. Chapters 4 to 5 are Here Comes Bucciolati. Bucciolati is going to obviously be a main character of some sort. And I hear a Bucciolati is like a pastry, Italian pastry. I don't know. But Bucciolati has a stand called Sticky Fingers. And Sticky Fingers is fucking interesting. First of all, it's got a zipper dick. It literally has a zipper where its crotch is, looks like a dick. It's hilarious. I love it. It's got a zipper dick. His stand is so unique in that it's essentially just, it creates zippers in things. But like, it kind of acts like a transportation stand, but also like he can unzip your body apart. He can literally make zippers like here and unzip your fucking arm off and make you fall apart. He can put a zipper in your back and then hide inside of you. Like, what the fuck is that? He can put a zipper on the side of a building and then like pop out in another place, just like transport himself. He could put a zipper in your hand unbeknownst to you and then slip an eyeball out of there. That's what he does in one of them. He slips an eyeball, like his hand's like this, when he opens it there's just an eye. He slips an eyeball in there. I've seen in the games that they have, he can like create a zipper and then he can create a zipper like on the floor going up a wall and then hold on to the zipper and then get transported, like go up the wall. It's so fucking nuts. Like, I would have never thought zippers to be used in this way. And obviously, as the thing goes on, there's going to be more zipper shit. We're going to find out all different stuff he can do. But Bucciolati and him, their fight mainly consists of Bucciolati kind of doing weird body horror in that technically he's taking our main character apart. He's literally unzipping his entire body and taking him apart arm and arm, leg and leg. It's kind of really fucking creepy when you think about it. Like, you think about all the shit that it can do to you. But as I mentioned before, part of what I had previously mentioned about the stand power and how, it can actually, like, do whatever, it can imbue life, like, he can give life to things. That's mainly what happens with the stand fight. Bucciolati is, like, trying to take him apart, and then Golden Experience gives him life, makes him slow down, punches him. What ultimately ends up getting him, though, Bucciolati hides inside of a person. He gets away because he's like, oh shit, you're gonna kill me. I don't need this right now. I'm gonna go tell people about you. So he gets away and he ends up, there's like 4 people, they all bump into each other and he jumps in one of them. And the way they get it is that Bucciolati had one of his teeth knocked out. So Giordano gives life to the tooth and turns it into a fly. And the fly wants to go back to its owner. The tooth wants to go back to its owner. So it flies over to the person he's hiding in. And when the fly gets hit, both the owner and Bucciolati inside get hurt. Now, the whole thing with this really is that Bucciolati's actually a decent person. He notices that this kid that he hid in, who's like 15 maybe, has drug marks on his arm. And even Giordano says, if you want to do drugs, whatever, but the fact that they're selling drugs to kids is what's fucked up. Bucciolati's conflicted because he disagrees greatly with the fact that they're selling drugs to kids and all this other fucked up shit. But that's his boss and he really can't do anything about it. And so Giordano decides, I'm done fighting you. Even though he literally almost fucking had him. Because what happens is the metalest shit ever. So Bucciolati's like, whatever, fuck you. And unzips his entire body again. Manages to get one-up him because he exchanges his arm with another dude's arm. And it's kind of confusing, but whatever. So I don't know how that affects him necessarily. Maybe it's because Golden Experience has to hit your real body in order, whatever. I don't know. But, he fucks them over by tricking them with the arm thing, and then unzips them completely. He like, practically has Giordano, like, totally undone. And then Giordano, literally, there's, like a little part that's still hanging on, because it went all the way around, so it's like dangling off of him, sort of. He literally rips his own arm off to then use somehow to be, like, he rips his own arm off so that way he could beat the shit out of the other guy. It looked kind of weird the way they showed it in the chapter itself because of the way it was drawn. But my understanding is that he just threw it at him, or he threw it at him to get more distance so he could use Golden Experience at a greater distance. I'm not 100% sure. If you've actually read that part and you understand more fully what happened in that scene where he ripped his arm off, please explain it to me, because it was a little confusing the way I was reading it, or maybe it was the translation that didn't explain it properly, but it seemed a little off. But anyway, he just ripped his own fucking arm off to try and beat someone with it. That's pretty cool. But Giordano, even after getting the one-upping Bucciolati decides he's not going to fight him because Bucciolati is a good person who doesn't like selling drugs to kids. Even though both of them murder everybody. And because this, oh, by the way, I didn't mention this, but this actually takes place in Italy. That's why it's all Italian, because it's in Italy, buddy. But, anyway, Giordano decides, okay, in order to take down a gangster, you gotta become a gangster or some shit. So he's gonna join the gang. And I think next chapter, I don't know if it's gonna have to do with that or whatever. But that was pretty much the first 8 chapters. And that's probably because, I guess that doesn't sound like a lot happened. But that's because sometimes the fight itself took like 3 or 4 chapters. And I kind of skimmed over the fight. I was like, woo! So far, I don't know how I feel about Giordano as a Jojo. He's a pretty boy character, and he's very stoic. He's very calm and very stoic. I don't know if that's going to change later, but... Oh, excuse me. It's been a long day. It's snowing here, and it's cold as shit. But as a Jojo, I kind of prefer the more hot-blooded Jojos. Not necessarily like burning passion Jonathan, even though Jonathan was supposed to be more like calculating. Not like burning passion Jonathan. I like the sillier kind of, almost the sillier Jojos. So like, I liked Joseph because he was like, I don't give a fuck. And then I liked Josuke because he was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not a big fan of the more colder, calculating, I gotta figure this out Jojos. Because, like, Jotaro from Part 3 was fine, but he felt really bland in comparison to some of the other characters who had more life to them. So far, between Golden Experience, which just has a bunch of it's like gold with a bunch of ladybug shit, and Sticky Fingers, I think Sticky Fingers is the obvious winner. I just like Sticky Fingers a lot more. I think its design looks better. And to be completely honest, I don't know, like, this particular, I thought Star Platinum looked dope as shit in Part 3. I didn't like Crazy Diamond, like, at all from Part 4. I think the design is stupid. And, I mean, Golden Experience, it matches Giordano, but I don't really like it. Sticky Fingers I like a lot more. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen because I got out of JoJo for a little bit. Not the fandom per se, but, like, I watched Part 1 to the end of Part 3 in a very short amount of time, after they were done airing, of course. And then, while I was waiting for Part 4, actually, I think Part 4 wasn't even announced yet. I then went and read all of Part 1 through Part 4, right around the time when Part 4, like, I was halfway through Part 4 when Part 4 got announced to be an anime. So I read literally all of this stuff I had already watched because I wanted to get all the, like, the little details and shit. And then also read Part 4, and I had to stop myself because I was like, whoa, I'm taking this a little too far. This is kind of ridiculous. But, whatever. I don't know if Part 5 is getting an anime, and if it is, I don't know when it's getting an anime. I don't care. Reading Part 4 didn't make watching Part 5 any shittier. I mean, sorry, I got all fucked up. Reading Part 4 didn't make watching Part 4 shitty. I liked Part 4. I almost probably liked it more because I read it first. Because when the character Yoshikage Kira came in, initially I would have been like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Because I read the manga first and knew what was happening, I was like, yeah, he's fucking coming! I got pumped. So, make of it what you will. Some people don't like watching the anime and then reading the manga, or they don't like having read the manga. Like, I've done it tons of times where I've accidentally read the manga of an anime that's about to come out. There was an anime that aired like a couple seasons ago called Tanaka-kun is Always Listless. I ended up reading that manga accidentally like 4 days before the anime came out. I was at work one day, there was nothing happening. Everybody was fucking out. I had a different position at the time, and I was like, I'm just gonna read manga on my phone or something. And I literally read all the chapters that were out, because there was like 12 that were translated. And then I saw at the bottom of one of the latest chapters was like, thanks for supporting we're having an anime soon. And I was like, oh shit, that's right, I fucking forgot. But that didn't make me enjoy it any less, so I don't know. Ultimately, I think it's going to be a fun ride. I don't know if I'm going to, because I don't really know what's going to happen at this point. So I don't know if I'm going to read it like and update this every arc, or also this particular set of chapters up until right now, these first 8 chapters, I've actually already read them before. I just was rereading them because after I finished part 4, I immediately started part 5 and went, maybe I should take a step back. So I actually already read these first 8 chapters, but I just wanted to get a refresher because I did miss some stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to do this like every arc I'm going to do, because there's like 2 sets of chapters that are just 2 chapters. So I don't know if I'm going to like read an arc, if you will, and then just talk about it, or if I'm going to read a couple and talk about it. But I wanted to talk about these 8 chapters, even if it was just in passing like this, because I did read them already, and I just wanted to get that out there. I read them, here's what I thought of it, whatever, moving on. All of this afterwards is new content. So yeah, I'm going to try and do more manga stuff because of my New Year's resolution kind of shit. Yeah, so let me know what you thought of maybe these first 2 chapters, or just in general, or, you know, let me just know what I thought about this sort of stuff in the comments below. And I'll talk to you later. Bye!